Hey guys, Jonathan was out here for JM Sports 100 and the JM Sports Show. How's it going? I'm here to make NFL picks for Week 15 in the 2014 NFL season. We are coming off of back-to-back 11 and 5 weeks, and we are 1 and 0 on the week. This week we had Arizona beating St. Louis, and they did that 12-6. Yeah, even though they lost, the Cardinals lost at quarterback Drew Stanton in the process of that knee sprain. Battle of field goals there in that game, but nonetheless, the Cardinals did get the win, and it was a big win for them. So we are 141, 66 and 1 on the year, 734 wins, 432 losses, and 3 ties is the lifetime record. Let's take a look now at the games. For Sunday, we have some pretty big ones here, starting off with this one. Pittsburgh and Atlanta. Both these teams are in division races. Even though Atlanta's in that ugly NFC South division, nonetheless, it's still a division game. I've got Pittsburgh winning the game here. I do think that they're the better team. Plus Atlanta. They really did have a slugfest with Green Bay, especially in the second half. Not last Monday. I don't know if it's going to affect them too much, but I do have the Steelers getting the win. Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills. Interesting game here. I'm going to go with the Packers to get the win. However, be careful for the upset. I think the game is really close. I think Buffalo is going to give Green Bay troubles. Buffalo's defense is good. Green Bay's defense has been shaky on the road this year. Plus, Green Bay it's a bit of a letdown week for them. They had that slugfest that I just talked about and with Atlanta on Monday night. They had the Minnesota game. They had the New England game. They've played a lot of high profile or both high profile and divisional matchups. I do think that the Packers get the win here, but I do think it's a lot closer than what people would imagine that it would be. Cincinnati and Cleveland. 3 weeks ago, this game would not have gotten much talk. However, because of a guy by the name of Johnny Manziel, this game is going to get some talk. Now, here's the thing about Johnny Manziel. I think Johnny Manziel is going to be good. I think he's going to win games. I don't think he's going to be great. It'll be interesting, of course, to see if he can stay healthy. I know that is the big knock on him is can he stay healthy? And he's being thrown in at home in a division game. Cincinnati uh, did not play well last week. Okay, Cincinnati getting thrashed by the Steelers at home 42-21 is not going to be very happy. There's a lot of hype surrounding this Johnny Manziel thing, perhaps too much of it. I do think that this is a close game, but I do think the Bengals get the win. Now, I do think Johnny Manziel is going to win them football games. I think he's going to go on a winning streak. Maybe, after this, he may win out the rest of the year. Everyone's going to be like, he's the future. Well, then everyone's gonna get tape on him, and then we'll really see what happens. It's really hard to say within the first couple of games how good a guy is gonna be. 9 times out of 10, I do think Johnny Manziel keeps the Browns in this game, but I do think that the Bengals come away victorious. Houston and Indianapolis. What can you really say here? You're giving me Andrew Luck at home against the Texans. Give me the Colts to toy with the Texans all day long. Oakland and Kansas City. Kansas City, of course, coming off that loss to Arizona. Oakland obviously hasn't been all that great as we've seen. It's a division game at Arrowhead. I do think Kansas City gets the win, comes out very unhappy about losing to Arizona last week. I do have Kansas City getting the win, but don't be surprised if at least for a while Oakland puts some push into this game. I don't know if they'll stay in it for the whole game, but I do think Oakland will push a little bit early. Give me Kansas City to get the win. New England and Miami is our next game. Big game for the Patriots. They can lock up the division with a win over the Dolphins, and I think they'll do that. Okay, the game is in New England. Uh, the Dolphins beat the Patriots earlier this year. You don't beat Bill Belichick twice in a season. It just doesn't happen. The Patriots are on fire right now. I'm not saying that the Dolphins have completely fallen apart, but I mean, let's just be real here. The Patriots are on fire. You're giving me Tom Brady at home. I'm going to go with the Patriots. Washington and the New York Giants. Not going to spend a ton of time on this game because there's not a whole lot of caring going on here. The story in Washington has become very interesting for people like me who enjoy the drama and enjoy the conflict. Is Jay Gruden going to be out at the end of the year? Is RG3 going to be out at the end of the year? Are they both going to be out at the end of the year? What is going to happen? There's just too much turmoil going on with the Redskins right now. I think they're the most dysfunctional organization in the league right now. Give me the Giants to get the win at home. Plus, I don't think the Giants are really as bad as their record shows. I think they just are missing some pieces. Tampa Bay and Carolina is our next game. I've been flipping and flopping about this game. I really have, because of course of the Cam Newton accident. Cam Newton, of course, will not play. Derek Anderson will get the start in his place. So I'm interested here because we know that Derek Anderson can get it done. Derek Anderson had made one other start this year. It was week 1 against Tampa Bay. They know this team. Derek Anderson is a very capable quarterback. Tampa Bay is a mess. Okay, I think Carolina is going to be able to rally around and use the Cam Newton thing as motivation. The only thing that worries me a little bit is how much of Carolina's mind is on this football game. Hopefully, quite a bit, because I'm going to pick them. And plus, they're trying to win the division. But you got people like Derek Anderson who are saying, yeah, at the forefront of my mind is the Cam Newton thing. Derek Anderson has got to be able to focus in this game. He can lead the Panthers to a win if he does focus. I think he will because of how important the game is, and I think Carolina will get the win. By the way, I just want to say one quick thing. My New England over Miami is actually my lock of the week. Next up, we have Jacksonville and Baltimore. What more can you say here? I think Baltimore's really really good. I'm buying into them. I'm completely buying into them. I wasn't for a good majority of the year. Kept waiting for them to falter. They're certainly not going to falter at home against Jacksonville. I've got Baltimore winning big. Denver and San Diego, big division game right here. Denver, I really like the way they're playing the football right now. I really like the way they're playing football. If they can continue to run strong, if Peyton can continue to make good decisions, as he's Peyton Manning, so he probably will. I do think this game is going to be good. I think this game is going to be a slugfest. This Charger team is good. Philip Rivers is obviously good. It's going to be a typical divisional game. Denver is not going to blow San Diego out of the water, but I do think the Broncos get the win. Next game here, I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to say it. I'm going with the Jets to beat the Titans. Next up, I apologize. That was mean, but you know what really is there to say about it? Minnesota and Detroit. I'm going to go with the Lions to beat the Vikings here at home. I think they're just the better team. I don't think Minnesota's going to be distracted by all the Adrian Peterson stuff that happened this week, but I just think that the Lions are the better team. The Vikings have shown times of being good this year, but I don't see it. I'm going to go with the Lions. San Francisco and Seattle. Las Vegas, and I know I don't do spreads here anymore, but Vegas has this line huge. I think the line's like 10. And that right there is wrong. This is going to be a tough football game. Yes, when they played in San Francisco back on Thanksgiving, it wasn't pretty. Jim Harbaugh is basically fighting for his job, and he's probably going to lose it anyway. Colin Kaepernick, he's a mess. I can't even explain what's happened to Colin Kaepernick. But I do think for a big divisional game, it's too big of a spread, and so that means that if Vegas set that number that high, it's to probably try to suck somebody in. I think this game is going to be close. I do have Seattle getting the win. That brings us to our Sunday night game, Dallas and Philadelphia. Big game for both these teams. The Cowboys in a must-win situation. Otherwise, if the Cowboys want to make the playoffs, they're basically going to be a wild card. Now, I know that the last time these two teams met on Thanksgiving, it was ugly. I don't expect this one to be ugly, okay? Tony Romo was a little banged up. Dallas was coming off of a Giants game on a short week. I don't foresee it being that bad. I really don't. In fact, I've got the Cowboys getting the win here because I think Romo and the Cowboys are a little bit better. I think it's more of a must win situation for Dallas. They'll thrive on that. Dallas is a little bit better on the road. Obviously, their offense needs to click. The Eagles are going to put up points. I do think it is going to be a close game, but I do have the Cowboys getting the win. In probably a shootout because the Cowboys' defense is not that great, and I think the Eagles' offense will be able to exploit that. Next up, we have the Monday night game, New Orleans and Chicago. I'm going to go with New Orleans to get this win here, even though it's in Chicago. I think the Bears have pretty much given up. I think Jay Cutler, and I hate to say that, but I think Jay Cutler has kind of given up. I know that the Bears having a little bit of buyer's remorse for all the money that they paid for Cutler and what they've gotten out of it so far, which of course isn't much. Meanwhile, you've got the Saints that are in the thick of an ugly division race and really need to win this game. I'm going to go with the Saints to get the win, 27-20. Alright, guys, don't forget to like the JM Sports Show page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Links will be in the description. NBA picks and college basketball picks might not return again until Monday. I'm not sure, but so stay tuned for that. And that is going to do it for me. I am Jonathan Mozette for JM Sports 100, the JM Sports Show, and I will see you guys later.